I don't know about you, but ever since that Bitcoin dominance started gaining traction, altcoins just aren't getting any love. And this can be clearly seen with the recent Bitcoin pullback where it went to like 98K. And the altcoins were absolutely demolished, bringing them to levels when Bitcoin was trading at around 60K. It's incredible, what happened with these altcoins. And some days it just makes you think, maybe we should just be buying Bitcoin on the pullback and just holding and forgetting. It just seems like every time you want to buy cheap altcoins, they just keep on dropping lower, and it is very painful. Now, we'll look at Injective today, but we'll also look at the Trump meme token and Melania because we want to see how they've been doing. And as you can see, they're not doing great, right? They're not doing great, but they're still hanging around. I mean, the market cap is still $5.96 billion, which is crazy, right? Trading at $29.80 at the moment. It's moving back up after a drop to $25.51 yesterday. As long as there's a cold, there's going to be buying. That's the way I see it. Now, I don't personally hold any Trump, but I do keep an eye out on it just to see how it's performing, because it's always interesting to see if there's still going to be demand for it, given that there's no utility. Melania, on the other hand, isn't doing that great, right? $2.45. It's dropped to below the price it was at when it listed. When it first listed, it was trading at around $6 immediately, like within a couple of seconds. You didn't even have time to buy lower than that when I saw it. I mean, I could have bought at $6, but I didn't, and it did go to like $12, so I could have made a nice 2x on that. But it will happen like really late my time, and I had to go and log in and send some SOL because I didn't have enough Solana. I only have a little bit of Solana, and then buy it off the DEX before they listed it on all these exchanges like MEXC, KuCoin, and so on. So yeah, not doing great, $2.45. I think this is the one that's probably going to eventually go to zero. It's still a 422 million market cap, but I just don't think this one's going to perform too well, given that it was just a meme, right? But with Trump, because there's a cult and because he's the president of the United States, it does have more potential, I think. But nevertheless, I'm not planning to get any, at least not right now. Who knows? Maybe if they announce something like a utility or something, perhaps I might get some. But of course, then it's going to take off as soon as they announce that. But otherwise, I just don't see any point of getting it, right? And looking at Injective here, we can see the Injective daily transactions are skyrocketing, with the network recently reaching the highest levels of on-chain activity. And Injective is now one of the most active L1s to date. But unfortunately, the price just doesn't do any justification for this activity, which is crazy, because at the end of the day, dumping is dumping and altcoins are not getting any love. And again, Injective is not the only one. Atom is suffering the same. DOT is suffering the same. Near is suffering the same. So there are multiple altcoins that are suffering this. Sui is still doing quite okay, to be fair. I know that Sui had a drop to like $3.50 before pumping back up. But yeah, Injective trading around the support area now, $18.75 after that major dip to the support area, retesting it 3 times here, as you can see, around $18, and then it pumped back up to $19.68. Now, if we look at the 1-day chart here for Injective, the reason why I say $18 is a good support area is because ever since Injective pumped to $35 here in early December, it had that big pullback to $18.50 or so. And as you can see, it went back up to 23 after that. So there was quite a bounce here in just a number of days. Then it pulled back, retested this area of support, went back up to $26, as you can see here. But it has failed to go higher because we do have resistance area around here. Not a lot of resistance, but to Injective, it seems to be a lot of resistance, because look at these major red candles after that. And again, it is because of Bitcoin as well, but there just wasn't enough buying power. Then it retested it once again. This is the 3rd time it retested it, back in the 14th of January. And then it went back up to almost $26 here. So again, this was a great time to sell, given that we had seen this before. It wasn't able to go higher. This was like a signal for selling here. Unfortunately, I didn't think this is going to happen. I did think that we're potentially going to be moving higher after a bit of a pullback here, because usually after this kind of retest, the second time, you would think that the market is getting bullish, but unfortunately this was not the case. We got rejected. We retested that once again, and now We'll see how it goes. It's not looking pretty because of the structure here. So we would need to see this day end in green here just to signify some kind of reversal here. But I'm not liking the movement here. And also the moving averages on the 1-day chart are getting bearish as well because they are pulling down below this 200-day moving average, which is usually a bad sign here of further downside momentum. Let's hope that's not the case, but if it is, then we can expect Injective to revisit $16.50, perhaps even $15.30. Here, as you can see, this was the previous support area which Injective was struggling at here around August of last year. So we hope that this is not going to happen, but it's not looking pretty here. You know, the chart is just telling you this. The chart is showing you that this is bearish and there's just no chance here for a big recovery unless some big catalyst happens. It's a shame because with Bitcoin trading at 102K, it makes you wonder, should you still be buying Injective right now or should you wait for some sort of reversal? I don't know. It's just terrible for altcoins right now. And it just makes you think, you know, what hope do they have given that most of the capital is going into memes and into Bitcoin? Not even Ethereum is doing well, right? Ethereum is also struggling. And I know that many people are complaining on X that they're not seeing Ethereum go back to its all-time high and perhaps even go higher, where they got a lot of support, right? A lot of developers. Lots of dApps are still being built on Ethereum. All these layer 2s are on Ethereum. So you think that Ethereum would be the next one to get love, but it's not the case, right? It just shows you that Bitcoin and memes, that's all the crypto investors care about right now. Unfortunately, that is the trend. And then you've got AI agents as well. Even AI agents are kind of turning into memes as well. Like when you're seeing AI agents, it's usually AI agent memes, not real AI agents that can do something incredible. But we will have to see what's going to happen because it's looking all doom and gloom here for altcoins, and it could mean that the altcoin bear market might be starting, but we don't know for sure because, like I said, look, when we went down here and we're looking really, really bearish with Injective trading at even $14.40 here in August, you know, it did manage to revisit 23, and then later on it did manage to revisit 35. So surprises could happen. It doesn't mean that we're not going to revisit this $30 area once again. It just shows you, though, that there's a high likelihood that we're not going to see an all-time high for Injective this year, given that, you know, it's such a long way now for it needs a lot of growth, and it's very hard to see that, you know. And to be fair, we don't know, right? I mean, this structure here does look bearish, but at the end of the day, we have not gone below this area of support. So we are still on a higher low here. So there's a little bit of a hope here that we may bounce today, depending on how we close the candle today or tomorrow, that we may bounce and revisit that $23, $26 area of resistance. But all we can do is hope. I think the Injective team would need to announce something big, like some major partnership or some major integration, in order to justify a trend change for Injective right now. This is the reality, and the chart doesn't lie. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.